Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, good morning, depending on where you're watching the video from. All right, so I've got this topic I would like to discuss with you right up here. And I'm pretty sure you all know that bearings do not miss in an exam. And bearings, they help us identify the position. One quick thing that I can point out when it comes to bearings is that they are written in three figures. Okay, they're just the same as angles, but they are written in three figures. So, for example, when you've got an angle which is a 70 degrees, this is how we do with angles, right? But if I want to write this as a bearing, I'll write it as a 070 degrees. So this is what we mean when we talk about three figures, 1, 2, 3. So you have to know that. So for example, here on question 2, there is a 42 degrees. This is an angle. But if I want to make it a bearing, I'll write it as a 042 degrees. So this is what you need to put into consideration as you work out bearings. Let's also talk about this important thing. Let's say you've got a bearing, okay? I'll give for argument's sake. I'll say you've got pointer C, and then here pointer D right over here. So you see, this is how it is. Yourself, who is watching right now, look at this. Let's say you are standing at point C. This is where you are. Wherever you are at the place where you're at, let's name it, it's point C. And myself, I'm standing at point D. Then somebody comes and they ask you that, where is the teacher who is teaching you standing? You point the direction like this. So the bearings will help us be able to find the location. This is what you need to know. So they will definitely give you an angle. Let's say this is how it is. We all know that we should have a north. This is north, okay? Pointing upwards, it's north. And these people, maybe they say, okay, the bearing right here, from here to here, it's 35 degrees. Remember, I'm writing 35 degrees. This is an angle. So to show that this is a bearing, it should have what? 35 degrees. So now, if I ask you that, find the bearing of C from D. This is how questions are asked. Calculate or find the bearing of C from D. So meaning you're going to find the direction or the angle, so to say, which we are calling a bearing when standing at a point D. Now look at this. Look at what is important. This is the most important statement in this topic. So what you're going to do, you go to where it says from D. So go to point D, make your north, okay? And then pick any point along this north. So I'll pick here and then start moving all the way up until you touch the letters which are named or mentioned. That is C and D. So now this is an angle that we need to find. I guess you're following. So now, how do we get to find this angle? Let me show you something. If you're able to see nicely, we can straighten this. And this is a strategy that we use when it comes to bearings. So I can straighten this. Do you know that when you've got this, there is a transverse line like this? The angle which is here will be equal to the angle which is here. Okay? In case you didn't know, keep it in your mind that you are forming a Z. These are parallel lines. You are forming a Z like this, where it makes a turn like that. the angle which is here is equal to the angle which is here. Again, the angle which is here, if this is angle B, this is also angle B. Is it making sense to you? So this is B for as long as it's making a Z. So the angle, if it's A here, even here it's A. Can you see? So now, the other thing that you need to know is that where it goes like this, the angle that is here is equal to the angle. You see, these are opposite angles. So this angle is also A. Can you see? And the other thing that you need to know is that where it made a Z here like this angle will always be equal to the angle which is here. Can you see this shape like this shape like that? So this angle is equal to this angle. So this is a property that we're going to use, of which we shall say this is a straight line. If I want, I can find an angle from here to here. What is this angle? 0, 3, 5 degrees. So using this property, you can even think like this. Straighten this. Can you see? It's forming this.
Yes.
Yeah. So this angle will be equal to this angle. This angle will be equal to the angle which is inside. So now look at this. We've now known that the angle from here to here, or the bearing, is 35 degrees. Again, we can also find from here all the way to here, because this is a straight line. And we know that property of a straight line is 180 degrees, in case you didn't know. So for me to find from here all the way to here, you see, from here all the way to here, since I've known this and this part, I can simply add this plus this. So here I'm going to say 180 degrees plus 035 degrees, of which when we add, this is giving us a 5. We add this, we're getting 11, isn't it?
Yes.
So this is 1 plus the one that we carried, it's giving us a 2. So the bearing from all the way here, we move all the way up to here, it's 215 degrees. I hope you guys are also following. Now look at this. What is important is to identify the point. Where I said you always go to where they're saying from. So they said from D, go to point D, do your north, and then start moving like that up until you touch the letters which I mentioned, C and D. Okay, are you following? So that's it. Now, since we've gotten this idea, I want us to discuss question 1 and question 2. So question 1, let's say they're saying calculate the bearing of, okay, A from B. Bearing of A from what? B. Step number 1, we are supposed to go to where they're saying from. From where? From B. So here we're calculating the bearing of A from what? From B. So go to point B, do your north. This is what I said. So you always go to where they're saying from. Do your north, and then from here you start moving, like I said, up until you touch that line. Can you see that?
Yes.
You can see, right? Yes, we can see. So now here, there are several ways on how you can do your calculations here. There are several ways. The first way, or I'll just show you this one because it's easier. I'll do this. I'll think of this north and the other north. This north and the other north. And then I'll do this. Okay?
Yes.
I know that this is where 120 is. Okay? And my A is right here, my B is here. So, the other thing that I'll do is to find this angle, which is this one. Can you see the angle which is right here? Yes. So if I find this angle, it will help me be able to answer. Now, in order for me to find this angle, I can simply say, okay, this angle is equal to this angle right here. Okay? This angle is equal to this. And they're forming a Z because they are forming a Z. Do you see? So the angle which is here is equal to this. Even the angle which is here is what? Is 120 degrees because it's like that. Can you see?
Yes.
So the best thing that I can do here is just to say property of a straight line it's 180. So from here all the way straight line, like from here all the way to here, it's 180. I will say minus 120. Look at this.
Yes.
I want to find this angle here. Okay? So when we start subtracting, this will give us a 0, this will give us a 6 degrees. So this is the angle which is here, 60 degrees. I can say it's also 60 degrees here. So I found my angle here to be equal to 60 degrees. But the question wants us to find this bearing here. Can you see? So in order for us to find that, we are going to use property of a circle. Have you ever come across what we call property of a circle? A circle, the angle of the circle is equal to what? 360 degrees, in case you didn't know. So since this is a circle, all of it, I can just say 360 degrees minus what? Minus 60, which will give us a 300 degrees. Like that. Are you there?
Yes.
So that's how we get to find that bearing. So let's look at question 2 and see what we're supposed to do on question C. So for question C, if they say find or calculate the bearing of over O from P. Bearing of O from what? From P. Can you see that? So what we're going to do is to do our north at P from, which has already been done for us. So we just move like that. This is the angle that we are looking for. Can you see that?
Yes.
So what we're going to do there, we'll just say 360, which is the property of a circle, minus what we've been given there, which is a 42 degrees. And this is giving us here 8, here it's a 3 degrees, like that. Are we together? Thank you so much to everybody who is watching right now. Please keep on watching. The next video we'll try to do some exam questions. Here we're just working on the introduction part of bearing, so that you can get to have an idea, such that when we start looking at exam questions, you'll be able to follow through. So please keep on supporting us, keep on following us. So for those people who'd like to join our online classes, we are mostly found, or we mostly do the online classes. So if you want to join, you are preparing for exams, you can get in touch with us on 0969 17 57 01. So if you're outside Zambia, put +26. Thank you so much, everybody, and bye-bye.